What up, good people? How y'all doing? We are live, episode 77 of Sucio Sports, presented by Inplay Dogs and Jail Blasters. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Oop, my bad. I have my phone here with the link or whatever. I was trying to send it to a couple people right quick. Sometimes people don't be knowing how to log on and different stuff like that. So some people I just be sending it to them. Oh man. Yeah, but episode 77 Sucio Sports presented by Gel Blasters and Inplay Dogs. Um, I'm so glad y'all could make it out to another episode with us as we march towards 100. It takes a lot to consistently do this week after week after week, even though we skipped a few weeks here and there. Um, just to know that a lot of y'all rock with us and whatnot. Man, we really do appreciate the love and the support, and we always try to mimic that love and support across other platforms and other podcasts and whatnot. Especially when so many people show us love, we try to make sure we reciprocate that love and show it back. So we appreciate all y'all rocking with us and whatnot. We just try to give y'all as much infotainment, as we like to call it, as possible, because we're going to inform you, but we also want to entertain you, but we don't want to make it manufactured and produced. You just want to make it seem like it's just literally like what we would do on a normal day-to-day basis, just us sitting here talking about sports, but presented in a somewhat professional manner and whatnot. Um, but appreciate y'all rocking out with us. Um, I'm sitting here frustrated because I decided again to watch the NBA playoffs instead of watching wrestling tonight, right? And hold on, the dog just came. Hold on. This will. My fault, y'all. The dog, like my dog, likes to go out. He goes outside to use the bathroom. We leave the door kind of cracked open for him to come back in because I don't like a doggy door, right? Because there be rabbits and stuff like that around here. Like I live around the corner from the country sometimes. So anyway, earlier he was out there suntanning. Just now he was out there just playing around. I delayed the show a couple minutes waiting for his ass to come back inside. Then he decided to come back inside as soon as I go live. Like literally 2 minutes into the show, he decides to come back inside. So I had to get up and close the door, lock the door back. But anyway, it's the joys of live TV podcasting and whatnot. Um, Sometimes you get stuff like that, man. Like when you live, anything's liable to happen, and you have to be accountable for everything that could happen. So it just so happened that like kids upstairs and stuff. So it's not like I could just, hey, come here, close the door, or whatever. Like text them, call them, because I don't want the door to be open that long. So it is what it is. I should have just called one of the interns down here to close the door, but I don't know. Sometimes they be moving slow. But anyway, man, appreciate y'all rocking with us. But like I was saying, I was really trying to watch the playoffs instead of watching wrestling again tonight. And I was yet again let down by this substandard performance by the Timberwolves. They scored 9 freaking points in the first quarter. It was 26-9 after the first quarter. 26-9. Like, I've seen Anthony Edwards score more points than that in a 4 or 5 minute span by himself. And for that whole team to not only put on that piss poor of a performance in the first quarter, and it's continuing into the second because the lead is now grown into even a bigger lead. Now, I want to say Thunder up by like 28, damn near 30 by now. It's like 25 or something like that. It's over 20. But the thing that I saw that really pissed me off the most is just the body language of some of the Timberwolves players, namely Jaden McDaniels. He missed the open shot, went down court, and missed a wide open corner three. Like he was so wide open, he could have laid out a blanket like put out a charcuterie board, poured himself a glass of champagne or something. You know what I'm saying? Fixed the sandwich, kissed this girl, read her a poem or something, played a love song, and then shot the ball. That's how wide open he was. He misses it, right? Not hustling back on defense, not, let me get up the court, let me try to get a steal, turnover, whatever. The first thing he does, hangs his head, shakes his head, and jogs up the court. Like that, I can't get with. I'm sorry. It don't matter if I'm down 10, 20, 30. Like, I can't let you see me be defeated. If I see you defeated and I can see it in your face and your body language and I'm reading that on you, I know I already got you. And this is why the Thunder, every time they hit another shot or whatever, the crowd going crazy and the team and the bench is celebrating. Because they know they're going to the finals, because the Wolves not about to fight back. They're not about to fight back. It's the same thing that happened to them last year. You went up against another young star in Luka, and Luka dominated and took over, and they had no answer for it. None whatsoever. And I really hate it when, you know what I'm saying? Like, what up, Dre? I really hate when I see that type of body language, especially from young players, um, that come into the game and like you already got this defeatist attitude about you, like where you already like, oh man, I done missed another shot. Oh no, we down by 20. No, like they're down by 30 now officially, 57-27. But it's like you're not even really trying. You're just settling for shots. You missing them, and then you're not hustling back on defense. You're not hustling for rebounds and loose balls. You're not like you making stupid turnovers. And it's just like to me it seemed like they already got they tickets booked. Like is the tickets already booked. Um there's no like, you know what I'm saying? There's no competitiveness, nothing there. And I just don't get it. I really don't get it. I like sometimes I wonder the mentality you have to have in order to just be defeated like that. And I really I can't get it. And I don't know what exactly it is. I don't know. Like I can't identify is what I'll say. I can't identify with that type of mentality. And this is where I get on my soapbox as an old man, because I grew up watching that 80s, 90s era of basketball, right? And it wasn't no quitting those guys. It wasn't no it wasn't no like you didn't see them roll over and just quit. You know, like right now I just saw Anthony Edwards settle for a damn near 30-point three-pointer with two people on it. If two people are on you, simple math. I'm just if I'm wrong, somebody stop me and tell me I'm wrong in the comments. If it's 5-on-5, right? And two people are on one of you, that means there's three people trying to guard four people. Somebody open somewhere. Why the hell are you settling for a 29-foot three-pointer at the top of the key? I don't know. But I'm just saying, it this type of basketball, it don't sit right with me. And this is where I would have to side with some of the old school players when they come down on some of this generation's players, where they talk about how their body language and how they give up so easily and they don't seem as into it, they don't seem as committed. Um they just don't have that killer instinct. They're not willing to do and go that extra mile, take that extra step that a lot of other players and other generations tend to do. Like right now, ESPN is throwing up a stat where the Timberwolves have 13 turnovers and 10 made field goals. That right there tells you something. When you got more turnovers than made field goals, I mean, can we just call the game right now? Can we have a running clock? At least give us a running clock, something. Because I'm not about to sit up here. Dre, you know me. I'm gonna tell the truth. I'm gonna tell the truth. They got hardnitis. They're for oh man. Listen, I'm gonna get into that in a minute though, because it's something else I wanted to bring up about that. I'm gonna get into that in a minute. But I just remember like watching some of these people play, and I don't remember when I was growing up. Early on, my earliest memories, like from what they say, finals was on tape delay, and I'm looking for, like where the hell the competition was at. I used to love watching Lakers Celtics. I caught the tail end of Dr. J's career. I do remember the Bad Boys Pistons very vividly. The early Jordan's Bulls that couldn't beat those Pistons. Those Lakers Celtics matchups. That time, Larry Bird won 3 straight MVPs in the middle of the '80s decade when there was like a bunch of the greatest players of all time playing in that decade. I remember a lot of that stuff. I never really remember seeing teams just roll over like this and just quit this early on in the game, especially in an elimination game. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just frustrated with this. And I'm hoping and praying the Knicks don't roll over like this tomorrow. I don't think the Knicks will roll over like this. I don't think. The reason why I say I don't think is for a couple of reasons. Number one, Tibbs is not that kind of coach where he would allow his team to just roll over like that, because Tibbs will take all their asses out, put in all those bench players who hardly ever get to play and don't want to go hard for their next contract or whatever it is. He will put those guys in instead of letting these guys just dog it like this. Um, the other thing is that I don't think Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart are the type of leaders on that team that would allow their team um, to roll over and play like that. Man, as who currently in the NBA as the league has a killer mentality. Lots of front running out there. I would have to say Halliburton with the Pacers. I would say Shea with the Thunder. Um, some of those guys like that, man, I see them as for sure having that killer mentality, because we've seen Halliburton and them come back from being down like 20 in these playoffs like a couple times. We've seen Shea and the Thunder also come back and fight back against the way they did against the Nuggets. Um, I would say Joker is another guy. Giannis isn't one of those guys that's going to roll over and just lay down for anybody. Um, let's see who else, man. Definitely Steph. Steph is still one of those guys. I think KD can be one of those guys. KD has been one of those guys before. It's just sometimes I think KD has it in him, and then sometimes I think KD will kind of like he'll teeter totter. It depends, but he has it in him, and he's done it before. Definitely seen Kawhi do it before. Um, Cancun on 3, yeah, bruh. I swear. Hold up, Sloan. Let me see. Who did I send that to, man? I think I sent that to the kids or somebody, man. Like we was just talking about that. Me and the kids was just talking about that. Like for real, for real. But there's a few guys I think in the league right now that has that killer mentality. Um, But just for like in these playoffs purposes, I think that these guys do have it. I just don't think Ant is one of those guys that really has it. He has a nice confidence about himself and a nice swagger. That's about it. I just don't see him with that real killer mentality because you would you wouldn't take just barely 10, 13, 14, 15 shots if you're the leader of your team. Number one. Number two, you wouldn't allow yourself to be settled for outside shots and not drive in the lane if you know you're not hitting your outside shots. You're going to try to find a drive the lane, get to the free throw line, and get yourself going some kind of way. That's one of the things that I know a lot of people love and appreciate about Allen Iverson is that AI, he may not have been hitting his outside shot as much. He was not a great shooter, and I don't want people to get it twisted because I still think he was wildly inefficient. But AI would never stop attacking. And that's the one thing that people like about him is that dogged mentality where he just would not quit. He would not give up. As long as the parlay hits. Hey, what parlay did you play, my guy? But yeah, man. But I don't know, bro. It's just I don't. It's really annoying to see this like this. See, this is the thing though, Sloan. Gobert is not the type of guy that is a low post threat. Julius Randle is not really a low post threat. So they don't have anybody that can be a low post threat that will like you can spread the floor and like have like okay that inside outside or that high post pick and roll action with to help you space the floor more and get more easy shots. Also, when you don't have guys that can actually hit those outside shots consistently, teams aren't threatened by them. So when you leave a Julius Randle or Jaden McDaniels or one of those guys open like that, teams aren't threatened by their outside three-point shooting. And you don't have an inside threat, and you really don't have a guy that can do the high post pick and roll play. So it's like, how can they space the floor when Ant is your most prolific and best three-point shooter? It's like, let's key in on him. And we know if we force him to, he would definitely like take that outside shot willingly all the time. So let's leave him with that and clog the lane and make sure they can't drive. I mean, Naz Reid sometimes will post up. Sometimes Randall will get in the post. But, I mean, when you don't have a true low post option or a high post pick and roll option and your guys can't really shoot from the outside, what can you do? And at halftime, they have 14 turnovers and 12 field goals. Bro, this is not winning basketball at all. Like, I feel bad because it's like – we sitting here wasting our time watching this, and we still got a whole other half of basketball left. Like, what the hell? All right, Sloan sent me his parlay. All right, he got the. Oh, damn. All right, he got Ant. He need Naz Reid to get 13 more combined points, rebounds, and assists. You need Chet to get 9 more points, rebounds, and assists. Shea needs 18 more points, rebounds, and assists. And we need Caruso to make a 3. That's what we need for Sloan to hit that parlay. So cheers up for my boy. I hope that parlay hit, dog. I really hope that parlay hit. Yeah, they would have to give up a lot. The thing is, I also read another. Oh gosh, it was a rumor that I think it was about San Antonio. Maybe I have to look it up again. But there was a rumor that some teams may be more interested in trading for KD instead of trading for Giannis because they won't have to give up as much. So but with the Wolves, I'm not sure what their draft picks and their situation looks like. And with these last 2 playoff performances, Like outside of Ant, like what do you really have as a tradable asset that like looks good to another team? And see, that's the thing, Dre. Randall is supposed to be there, stretch four, that can provide that spacing for them. And Reed is another stretch big. But they just don't have it in them. If you either got it or you don't. You either playing hard and figuring out other ways to score, get other guys involved or whatever, or you not. And the one thing that always translates and travels is defense. And as much as OKC can score, they play great defense. That's the one thing where I will say that I'm thinking about placing a futures bet on them winning the whole thing right now. And I know it may not be as good of odds as it was before, but the thing is like OKC can score, but they also play great defense. And that was the one thing that the Knicks have not done. Nobody's really done on the Pacers in the playoffs except when they beat them. When you can beat Indiana is when you can hold them to 100 points or less. When you can hold them under like 100, 110, they're going to give up 110, 120 easily. Can you hold them less than that and beat them? That's the key to beating Indiana, because they're going to find a way to score unless you really, really cut the head off the snake and stop them. And if you can slow down Halliburton and not get him to distribute the ball and be as much of a playmaker for them as possible, then that's when you can really slow that team down and really make them say, hey, you know what? We got to figure something else out. Those guys share the ball. They don't mind passing. Everybody can shoot. A lot of those guys can defend. And a lot of those guys can handle the ball and pass as well. So when you got bigs that can pass and you got wings that can pass and shoot and do different things, that's why that team has so good of a chemistry, is because they all trust each other. They all play the same way and they don't mind. Like Halliburton is the star of that team, but he don't mind deflecting to his other guys if he needs to. If a guy's open, he's going to give him the ball. And the thing is, what I love about watching Indiana, and it kind of reminds me of Golden State in their heyday, you got at least 3 to 4 guys on the court at all times who can handle the ball, who can shoot, who can pass. If they do not care who takes that open shot. If whoever is open, they get that guy the ball, he shoots it, he scores. It's just that simple. And when you can play basketball that free and that open and that clear, that's why I love watching Indiana play. That's why I said, hey, y'all cannot watch if y'all don't want to, and because it's not the Knicks versus the Celtics, or I'm sorry, the Knicks versus the Lakers, or the Celtics versus the Nuggets, or whoever the fuck y'all want. My thing is I like watching good quality basketball. And as long as we get good quality basketball, I don't care. Now, the reason why I had a problem when the Spurs played the Nets in that one finals, and that was one of the lowest rated finals, I think that was the 2013-14 finals. I just saw where one of the conference title games was one of the lowest rated games since 2013-14. But when you had that finals, that was two teams where it was really tough to watch them play, because at that point in time, the Spurs weren't playing that brand of basketball where it was like, let's pass the ball around, get it to the open guy, and we can outscore you. So it was just, I don't know, bro. It's tough watching this stuff sometimes. Randall can't dribble. Reed needs to get his ass in the post. Exactly. Randall is only good going to his right. He's not good going left. Reed can get in the post, but the thing is that they don't really give him the ball in the post. And ever so often when they do, I don't think he's truly comfortable down there. And I haven't really seen him truly be comfortable down there since really he was at LSU a little bit, and he would have certain mismatches against certain guys in the SEC or whatever. And then even then, I didn't really feel like he was truly comfortable doing it. He would do it, but it wasn't like comfortable. It's like you see a guy go in the post and you know when he's comfortable, when he can catch the ball clearly and have a move and have a plan. But when I see a guy catch the ball in the post and he doesn't look comfortable, like he don't know what to do, where to go, where his first move is going to be, or he can't even get position, or his footwork looks off, that's when I know you're not comfortable down there. And you need to be comfortable down there because you're 6'9", 6'10", 6'11" with long arms, and you're one of your team's bigs. And I'm sorry, like, I don't care if you're a stretch 4, stretch 5. when you damn near 7 feet tall, you need to have a back to the basket game in order to help your team out more. That's just developing your skills. It's just like if I was a guard or a wing player, I need to be able to shoot the ball better than what most of these guys shoot the ball nowadays. So I'm going to work on my 3-point shot. I'm going to work on that pull-up midi. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to work on that floater. I'm going to work on my ball handling and my court vision and my passing and whatnot. I'm going to work on that because that's what this position requires of me to do. That's just trying to expand your horizons and be a good quality basketball player. No, and you're right, bro. And that's the thing that makes Joker such a great player. And that's why, to me, right now, at this day and age and time, it's like him and maybe Giannis and Shea are like the 3 best players in the world. And guess what? None of the 3 of them are from the United States. One from Canada, one from Greece, and one's from Slovenia. The 3 best players in the world are not from the United States at this current time right now. Argue with your mama whenever she get back from the store putting on them fake ass lashes. But I'm just saying, that's the 3 best players in the world right now, and ain't none of them from here. So do with that information what you will. Okay, see, they sure might, because I haven't looked at their salary situation and their who are their free agents and whatnot yet. But I mean, as long as they got Shea and Chet and Jayden and Dort, because Dort brings that defensive dog mentality and he's added that spot up 3-point shot. You know, those guys are going to do good. And when they have Hartenstein in the game with Chet, and they got 2 active 7-footers that will switch on defense and will, clog the paint and won't just give up on the perimeter defense, even if they're in a mismatch, that team has good defense and they know how to rotate and whatnot. Oh, bro, I can't wait. I just was going back and forth on Twitter with somebody the other day that I think that I'm betting the over on every single one of those games, because those teams are going to they're going to go score crazy. This damn dog, I swear, bro. He likes to burrow. And he got his little blanket on the sofa, but it's not how he wants it. So instead of him just gently moving it or whatever, he got to now he comfortable again. Anyway, man, this little dude, I swear, sometimes I wish I could just sit him right here, put his little bed or whatever in this chair next to me and just sit him right there. But I know he'll make noise and stuff, or try to get up here and get on the pod or something like that, because he be wanting to be curious and shit. But anyway, I'm looking forward to it, bro. I'm really looking forward to it. I really want the Knicks to make a series out of this, but if they don't, just go ahead and lose on a last-second shot or something like that. What a go team, this fool. Appreciate the love. Even though I know you're not a sports girl, you Allen Iverson and Vince Carter when it comes to basketball, but I appreciate the love. Rudy clogs up the lane for exactly. He is not a threat. The only thing Rudy is there for is defense and rebounding. And the sad part about it is sometimes when Rudy rebounds on the offensive end, he can't put it back up. And I'll never forget, it was towards the beginning of the season. I remember it was still kind of cold outside. And some idiot on Twitter tried to argue me down that was the wrong play, that they should have given it to Rudy, or Rudy should have taken this shot or something like that. And I'm like, why? He can't finish. He sucks. He's 7'2", and he has a hard time finishing around the basket. That's a crying shame. You should be ashamed if you're 7'2" and you don't have an outside shot as a big and you have a hard time finishing around the basket. That's a problem. And so just to relate this to the women's game a little bit, everybody who goes as hard on Angel Reese for missing all these layups and all these putbacks when she's getting all these offensive rebounds, because she's a rebounding savant. But when she's missing all these easy layups and stuff like that, I need y'all to have that same energy for people like Rudy Gobert, who are way taller than everybody else, mostly everybody that he's playing on the court with, and or stronger than them. and you still have a hard time finishing around the basket. Keep that same energy for that big French baguette down there that has a hard time finishing as well. Because y'all don't have that same energy for him that y'all do for her. Why? I'm just saying. Don't act like I don't know this because I pay attention. But anyway, it's hard to watch some of these games sometimes, man, with the way these guys play. And sometimes it's fun to watch. But when you got one team that's clearly just dominating the other team, it's no longer fun. It's just on and it's background noise. And I would have did better watching Evolve from WWE to see Callie Armstrong win the initial Evolve Women's Championship match, or watching Dynamite or something like that, than I would have gotten enjoyment out of watching this massacre right now, because now the lead is up to 35-37. It's like every time I look up, the lead keeps going up, 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 up. And I think the Timberwolves are going to set some records for scoring the least points and getting blown out by the most points or something like that, because they don't even look like they're into it or they're trying. They look like they're just ready to get on the bus and go home and catch their plane to their vacation destinations right now. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Right now, Jaden McDaniels is 2 of 10 from the field. Just ridiculous. And I'm seeing guys getting knocked down and just laying down on the floor. Teammates not even helping them up. Like, nobody really wants to take a shot. Man, just this is tough to watch, y'all. This is really tough to watch, and I really hate watching basketball like this. This is also why I say that I'm looking forward to this series with the Pacers and the Thunder, which it looks like is what we're heading to, unless the Knicks can pull off a miracle and somehow find a way to extend this series and win it in 7, which I don't think they will, because they haven't shown us shit all series. Like, I could see if they gave us a inkling of a feeling. Oh, let me plug this in laptop in. I don't like plugging it in too early. But I could see if they gave us an inkling of a feeling that they would be, like, ready, or like they lost games by like a couple possessions here and there. But too often they had to try to come back to put themselves in position to have a chance to win at the end of the game and then come up short. And it's like, if they could build a lead and then maybe lost the lead at the end because they got lackadaisical, I could see that. But they've been behind and had to come back to put themselves in position to try to win at the end of games. And they haven't won. And I think when Halliburton hit that one shot that sent it into overtime, and then the Pacers end up winning that game in the Garden, I think that was the most demoralizing part of all of this. I want to say that was game 2. When they lost that game 2 the way they did, that really, like, to me, I was like, yeah, that's a wrap. I don't see the Knicks coming back from this, just because their mentality has to be more killer instinct, and they haven't had that. And we already got a report that's saying Karl Anthony Towns is questionable for the game on Thursday. So I really hope that they don't roll over and play dead, to be perfectly honest with you, man. I really hope they can make a series of this. It would be great, but I mean, I don't know. Yeah, what happened to Knicks in 6? brother. Yeah, that went out the door, dog. That went out the door in game 2. But that game 2 loss that they had in overtime like that, yeah, that went out the window, dog. That went out the window, man. But I hope they can make a series out of it, like, for real, because, man, I wanted to see the Knicks play the Wolves or the Thunder. I just wanted to see the Knicks in the finals, because Knicks fans are crazy, and I know the social media interactions would be insane. with the Thunder looking like they're going to play the Pacers, we won't get that type of social media interactions and the engagement that everybody's looking for. Which I mean, if we get it, we get it. If we don't, we don't. It's fine. My thing is like I really want to see good basketball more than anything. That's my main thing. Yeah, yeah, Davion. I'm sorry, dog. It's that Tom and Jerry gift where he like just spanking them. That's what's happening to your squad right now. They get spanked, belt to ass. Like if there was ever a game that you would say belt to ass, it would be this one right here. Because this is just ridiculous, man. Like you getting doubled up and you ain't even like. Did you at least pinch him? Like something, man. Like get a flesh wound, something. God damn. This is like one of them damn Tyson fights. Really, you know what this looks like, to be honest with you? This looks like one of those Floyd Mayweather fights where Mayweather just totally outmatches his opponent and he just peppering them around the ring, dodging punches, peppering them around the ring, dodging punches, peppering them, and he wins like 10 out of the 12 rounds. This is what this looks like. This is basically what this looks like. Yeah, switch the Drake. See, you know you know what them switches was like. You remember. You remember. Matter of fact, while I'm here, let me log into my book, my sports book, and see where it is. I ain't gonna shout the fools out because they ain't paid for the sponsorship and they was janky with me, so I ain't gonna shout them out. Let me see. Where is the basketball? Future. Next. No, I'm looking for the. Damn, I could bet on the Vietnam Championship. That's what's up. Yeah, I don't see where I can bet. Let me see. Let me try this. Specials. NBA specials. No. Yeah, I don't see where I could do it, but I'm gonna keep looking for it though, because I know sometimes they have it, sometimes they don't. Like they got the 2026 men's NCAA championships up, but NBA odds, conference size, division season, playoff, let me see, playoff odds. We'll pull it up. Sometimes this late in the game, they won't let you bet on it though. Yeah, they don't really have it up, so it's all good. I was just wondering if I could place a bet on the Thunder to win the NBA Finals, but I guess I can't on my sports book because they shitty. But it is what it is, man. It's all good. I vividly remember. I bet you do. Mom used to play fast pitch softball. I forgot a report card one time. Oh shit, dog. Let me tell you, I'll never forget. My aunt would throw. She had these coasters in their living room. Those wooden coasters with the cork in the middle. And I'll never forget, dog. Like me and my cousin was doing something. And we got on her nerves. She was telling us, I don't know what the hell we did, what we said or something. And we took off across the living room and tried to go down the hallway. Bro, them wooden coasters went to go. Like you could hear them, like cut through the air. She was throwing them so good. And like we remember messing with her before, and she came outside one time. We was all at my grandmother's house playing and was throwing a football too. And we was like, oh shit, like she can actually throw a football. We thought my dad and my uncle was real athletes. We didn't realize my aunt was that good of an athlete. So it was, yeah, I remember wooden coasters, extension cords. The switch was always, a thing because both of my grandmothers had bushes and trees in their yards and stuff. So a switch was always available. Of course, the belt and everything, but like I think one of the coldest ones I got, man, my grandfather smacked me upside my head one time. I like lost all my senses. I think he kind of gave me a slight concussion, probably. And I'll never forget. It was a Mike Tyson fight was on. We was down the street at their house. I was in elementary school, and I said something slick to my mom or my dad, and walked into the kitchen to give me some water. And I didn't even know my grandfather was behind me, bro. I just went up to the refrigerator and I was mumbling something still under my breath. And I went to go get water. All the thing I know, like the cup, the water, me, everything went flying. I was like, oh shit, what the hell? Got me, dog. I ain't even gonna lie. He got me good too. Extension, bruh. That extension cord, bruh. I'll never forget. It was one time my little brother and my little sister got in trouble. My grandmother got in with the extension cord because that was the only thing she had available at the time. And I knew what kind of pain they was gonna be in because I had gotten it before. And they couldn't really sit there. And then my little brother was like we all three different shades of colors. Like I'm the one in the middle. I'm the oldest. But I was the blend. Then my little sister was like my mom color. She was like yellow. My little brother was dark skinned like my dad. So it really showed up on her. He just had like welts. She had like the red marks with the welts. But neither one of them could really sit down a certain way because they got their ass whipped. But yeah, man, she was crazy. Um, yeah, but it's been, bruh, it's been some crazy stuff. Like just man, them old school whippings ain't no joke. Um, speaking of old school whippings, uh, just to kind of change the subject a little bit, Tyreek Hill. I saw a report today where he's been at OTAs practicing with the team and seems to be really recommitted to everything that's going on. He basically said all of his comments and things like that after the season were just emotions running high. He wasn't in a good space at that time. He's been spending more time in therapy, even been going to church. He's dedicated to proving to his teammates in the organization that he's still one of those ones and he can still get it done. So that to me is news to music to not only Mike McDaniel's ears, but to his ears and a lot of people in that building down there in South Florida. Because when Tyreek Hill has his head on straight, he's one of the most explosive and dynamic playmakers in the league today, still. It doesn't look like he's really lost a step. And even if he has lost a step or two, he's still that much better and faster than mostly everybody else that's on the field with him at the same time. So that was great to hear. Other NFL news, Kirk Cousins, not shockingly, has not been at Falcons OTAs or mini camps or anything like that. When you give a guy that big of a contract and that much money, and then you backdoor and you use the top 10 draft pick to draft a quarterback to draft another quarterback, and you basically say like, yeah, we're going to give him the keys to the kingdom this season and let him go with it. I wouldn't want to show up either. I mean, with as much money as Kirk Cousins has already made and the amount of money that the Falcons are paying him, he can withstand those fines easily. It's not like he hurting for it. And we see how he dressed. If you've ever seen that series of Quarterback on, I believe it's Netflix or whatever, like his wife dresses him. She has to dress him to make him look somewhat decent. But all of that other stuff, like, I don't blame him. Because why would you pay me all this money? 4 years, I believe it was 180 million. I think it was like 120 or so guaranteed. You gave him that much money. And then you expected him to just willingly step to the side and be overpaid backup? Giving this guy $45 million a year, and you think that he's just supposed to just willingly take that backup role? Like, no. He wants to start. He wants to play. The dude still has pride in himself and belief in his abilities. So it may prove to pay off for them in the long run, but in the meantime, you got an albatross of a contract on your books where you can't trade him, can't cut him because of the cap hit. If you do, you severely hamstring yourself and you leave yourself without a good, solid veteran option at the position. So the Falcons put themselves in that pickle, and honestly, I don't feel sorry for them. It is what it is. You did it to yourself. Just like they also did it to themselves when they posted. Let me bring up this picture because I need to share this screen with y'all on this one. This was just unbelievable. Like, I can't even believe that the Falcons would have posted this. Like, it was just, it didn't even make sense for them to post this, but they did it anyway. So everybody knows, you know what I'm saying, the Falcons, they were in the Super Bowl and they decided to they were down 28-3, right? And let me just tell you, what's so funny about this is that they decided that it was smart to go ahead and post this picture and say, we out here, right? They decided this was a smart thing to do. Let me make it so y'all can really see it. Right? They thought this was cool. They thought this was intelligent. And it's Mike Ford Jr. and I believe that's Bijan Robinson or something. I don't know who that is. Whoever that is. Whatever it is. Anyway, I don't care. It's a Falcons player. Whatever. Not too long after that, they realized what they did and then deleted it. Now, I'm gonna let y'all just look at that and you tell me what you see in that picture and why they would have posted that and why they ended up deleting. Because I don't care. No combination of those two players should ever take a picture together and be posted anywhere on social media if I'm the Falcons organization. Because that is the bane of your existence. You were up 28-3 on the Patriots in the Super Bowl and came from ahead to lose that game in overtime. And I'm so glad y'all did. Because it keeps y'all with no Super Bowls. And the Falcons and the city of Atlanta are a city that does not deserve happiness or peace. I'm sorry, I'm a Saints fan. And my whole thing with that organization and with that team goes way far back. But it really goes back to Roddy White and some of his ill-gotten comments about the city of New Orleans and whatnot. And I'm like, bro, what are you and who are you and what have you done to say that you can say anything and talk that much cash shit about the city of New Orleans and the Saints as an organization and a team when you ain't did shit, ain't really accomplished shit in your whole career? You didn't bring the Falcons no Super Bowl titles. You didn't win no MVPs. You didn't like offensive player of the year or nothing like that. Like, you're not even like in any like top tens or anything all time lists or nothing like that. Nothing. Like, bro, who are you? You're better known for being the guy that Julio Jones gave second life to because he would take the top off of defense and that extended your career. Because if it wasn't for Julio coming there, your career would have been cut way shorter, my guy. So be humble. Be humble. That's all I got to say. But yeah, I thought that was quite hilarious of the Falcons to post that and then quickly delete it, but it was already screenshot. And shout out to my boy BC in Houston. Uh, Matter of fact, follow BC in Houston. His Twitter handle's right there on the screen. He's one guy in gambling Twitter that I will say he will post his list of bets free for every day for everybody, free for you to tell and tag and follow him on those bets. But then that out of that night or that following morning, he will post the wins and losses, and he'll show you how many units he placed on each bet, and then how many units he was either up or down when he posts his results. So shout out to my guy BC in Houston because he's a real one. If you're into gambling Twitter, I would say follow him. He's not much on the parlays. He's more of like results, halves, things like that, over and unders and stuff like that. He does a lot of that. So he's one of the real ones in gambling Twitter. And I'm talking about a real pro gambler who's been doing this for quite some time. And he's been pretty profitable for the most part, because what I learned working with them and him and rest in peace to Fred and Booker T and all those guys over at when we were doing Sports Money Elite was that a professional gambler only needs to win, I believe it's 52 or so, 52, 53% of their bets in order to be profitable most times. But there was even times where they would send me my stats for the month. And like, let's say my overall win-loss record was something like, I think one time it was like, I had a losing record one month. But because of the amount of units that I bet on the wins that I had, I was still profitable. So when I got my little report that month, even though I didn't have a winning record, I was still profitable. So it was like, hey, good job on making sure you place more units on the winning bets that you had, and the ones that you lost, you didn't lose as much on. But we need you to get closer to at least 50-50 than, losing. It was like, I think I was at like 42 or 46%, something like that. I was close to 50-50, but I wasn't quite like, there. So BC Brandon, he was the one who taught me a lot of those little statistics and numbers and stuff like that. Shout out to him and AJ Hoffman. Shout out to AJ as well. And AJ is the real one on Twitter. I didn't put his Twitter handle there, but him and AJ and Fred, rest in peace. Those three guys really taught me a lot about gambling and managing your money and placing bets you feel like you can win, not just throwing money away, but actually managing your bets and also tracking them, how much you're betting and how much you're winning, to know if you're up or down and how profitable or not profitable you are. And also tracking the types of bets that you place, so that way you can be more in tune on your wins and losses, see where your strengths and weaknesses are, and go place your future bets towards what your stronger suits are, and then stay away from the things you aren't as strong at. Because honestly, when y'all throw money at them parlays like that, I know it may not seem like it's much, but you're just throwing away money. And you're hoping to hit one time or hit it big or this or that. And that's cool if you want to do that. But if you really want to be profitable, you got to find a better way to bet, more efficient way to bet. And there is ways out there that you can do that. Yeah, that was about all the basketball I had. Aaron Rodgers is still a weirdo who is, I really wish he just retires and just stops it, because all of this play flirting and everything, we already know you don't want to go to camp. You don't want to do mini camp OTAs and all of that. So we know you're not going to sign right now. He's probably going to sign somewhere midway through training camp or preseason or whatever. That way he don't have to go there and work out as much. And he's going to come in half-assed for another season, for another paycheck, another shot at glory possibly. And I don't get it. I don't know why, because if you're not going to be fully invested into coming in and playing and investing your time and your efforts in the offseason to get on a team and to get in the building and learn and build chemistry with guys, why are you even trying to do this again? You didn't look right last year. You probably won't look right this year, because you're another year older and another year removed from Achilles tear surgery. Just give it up, dog. Just roll it over. You got MVPs. You got a Super Bowl title. Like you got records in one of the most talented quarterbacks to ever throw a football, as far as overall arm talent is concerned. Bro, just give it up before you ruin your legacy. Terry, oh yeah, Terry Bradshaw did have some words for him. He sure did, and I was glad because again, it goes back to sometimes these old school players that are members of the media, analysts and whatnot. Sometimes they're right, and they don't sound as bitter and get off my lawnish as we want them to sound, because a lot of times it's making sense. And just like I said earlier, a lot of NBA analysts call out this generation for not having that kind of killer instinct and not going all out and playing as hard. And it's true. We're seeing it right in front of our faces right now with the Timberwolves. From the beginning of the game, they seemed like they had no interest in trying to win this game at all. None. And this is what we get. And this is what happens. So what can we do? There's nothing we can do about it. All we can do is just sit here and watch and suffer through it until we get to the next round, next series. And Aaron Rodgers is one of the perfect examples of a diva playing quarterback. And usually you would think the divas would be wide receivers or corners or sometimes, running backs, some of the glory positions or whatnot. Sometimes pass rushers have been divas. But when you see a quarterback being a diva, that's not the kind of guy I want to lead my team, to be honest with you. And that's one of the reasons why I kind of had an issue with some of the stuff Caleb Williams was pulling going leading into the draft and the draft process last year. But that kid seems like he's, got his head on straight. And it was just a lot of it seems like it was more or less like his dad was leading the charge. And we don't really know if his dad was speaking for him or if his dad was just kind of speaking out of turn. But you got to understand, if it's coming from anybody in your camp, on your side, your family, friends, agents, whoever, it represents you. And so you either have to shut them up or come out and say, like, hey, he's just saying that on his own. That don't represent me. That's my dad. I can't tell my dad what to say and what not to say, but I just say he don't speak for me. None of that happens, so it still represents you. But hopefully Caleb doesn't turn into one of those diva quarterbacks like Aaron Rodgers is. Especially not this early on in your career when you don't have any skins on the wall to say, like, hey, I want this and I want that and blah, 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 blah. And that's, I think, another reason why people had such an issue with the things that Shedeur was saying and going through and the words that were coming out about him this past season and this offseason and leading to the draft and whatnot. Because they felt like he was trying, Dion, and they were trying to dictate where he would go or this or that. And I really think it was just talk. I don't think it was a whole lot of anything to it. And I think that, yeah, maybe he did off-put some people by the way he handled interviews and whatnot. But as you can see, the kid is, he's a team player. He's willing to work and put in the work. And he wants to earn his team's trust and come in there and work hard and do what he has to do. And I love it. I love the approach that he's taking right now. He's not letting it get to him, not letting it affect him. And when he got drafted, he celebrated as if he was drafted, in the top 5, even though he was drafted in the 5th round. So I love the attitude and I love the way he's going about things. And I really hope that kid has a lot of success and makes people eat their words, because the last thing I want to see is that young man have to go through what he went through and have people assassinate his character, and then he falls flat on his face. So every one of those assholes can be like, I told you so, I told you so, I told you so. So I really hope he has a lot of success, just so he can, shove it up everybody else's ass who had a lot of shit to say. A little bit of news out of WNBA. Caitlin Clark is out for a couple of weeks. I believe it's with a quad injury. And in those couple of weeks that she's going to miss is going to be one of the rematches against Angel Reese in the Chicago Sky, which I know people were dying for. Ticket prices went from an average of over $100, I believe, to around like $25 after Caitlin Clark's injury was announced and it was realized that she was going to miss that game. So you can hate on her all you want, and you can hate the publicity that she gets all she wants, but she's a needle mover and a ticket pusher. She brings and adds value to that league and value to her team, and it is what it is. The rivalry with her and Angel really started when LSU and Iowa played in the NCAA tournament that year. LSU won a national title in their junior years. It continued on into their senior years and continued on to their rookie years last year in the WNBA. Continued on this year, as a matter of fact. That foul was just a regular hard foul. Angel just kind of overreacted to it. She moved on. So should everybody else. And the thing that I think people really need to realize is a lot of Caitlin Clark's quote unquote fans aren't really fans. They just like her because she's white. And they want to paint that young black lady as the villain. And they want to use that as part of their racial agenda. And it's funny because I hate when I see, I'm gonna just call it spade a spade. I hate when a lot of times white people, most of the time, try to tell black people they're injecting race into something when clearly it's something racial. But then when you see people who couldn't tell you how many games the WNBA plays, when their season starts, nothing like that. They can't tell you shit about women's basketball but Caitlin Clark. That's the only thing they know. And they pick up that mantle just because she's a white girl and just because the media poses her so-called nemesis as Angel Reese, a black lady, a black woman. So when you have a white woman against a black woman, who you think the racists are going to pick? They're going to pick the white woman because she's against the bad black woman. I'm just calling a spade because a lot of times people don't like to call it out for what it is. And the thing that I love about women like Caitlin Clark and especially Paige Beckers, they know who they are. They know they're white and they know they have that privilege behind it. But Caitlin Clark isn't feeding into the bullshit. And Paige Beckers actually speaks out against the bullshit. And she calls it out. And that's why Paige, who's just as good as Caitlin Clark is and has the ability to be that type of player, even though she'll defer. And plus she's in the backcourt with Arika Gubawale. So let's not get it twisted. Like, she went to a team who already has an all-star lead dog and one of the league's best players in that same backcourt with her. So she can't just take over like Caitlin did when she got to the Indiana Fever, because Caitlin, even though Caitlin had a Leah Boston is a big and needs guards to get her the ball in position in the post. Caitlin is the point guard, so she always has the ball in her hands. Plus, she has the green light. Different setups, different players. But Paige has that same ability to be just as good as Caitlin Clark is. She's not going to get the huge publicity and the backing behind her because she is so outspokenly pro-black, and she wants to put the shine light on her teammates and other players and call out the injustices and the white privilege and whatnot. So, of course, Paige isn't going to get that same love that Caitlin's going to get. But at the same time, I love the fact that Caitlin isn't going to shy away from it or back away from it. She's just not going to support it and not going to, she may not actively call it out, but there are times where she does show her love and her support for her fellow players and whatnot, and she don't feed into the bullshit. So a lot of the times, these quote-unquote fans of Caitlin Clark, like I said, they aren't really fans. They're just racist motherfuckers who pick up the mantle just because they see a white woman pit against a black woman, and they taking the white woman's side no matter what. Call a spade a spade. But again, I also don't want black people to just shit on and hate on Caitlin Clark saying, oh, she's just getting this attention because she's white. No, she just set the record for most, I believe it's 25 and 10 games in league history in 42 games, where it took the previous record holder over 400 games to do so. She did it in a tenth of the time. Okay. She's also had a number of triple doubles where she's setting records there. And she's only been in the league a year and a half barely. So I'm just saying, like, that girl is good. She really is good. She really is bringing a lot of attention to the league. She's going to help them be more get towards profitability. So you got to give her props. You may not like a person, but at least respect their contributions to the game. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Diana Taurasi, bro. Like, I saw a documentary I just watched the other day on Paige Beckers, right? And I'm glad you brought up Tarasi because it made me think of Paige. But they were talking about all the players who came before her at UConn, and her decision to go to UConn wasn't the easy decision just because it's a high-powered program and they have all the story history. It was actually a harder thing to do because you can't really take that program to new heights. They've already won the national titles, undefeated streaks, players of the year, MVPs, first overall draft picks. Like, there is nothing you can do at that program that hasn't already been done. To go there, you have to try to live up to the hype, especially when you're the number one player, number one recruit in the country. You now have to live up to all of that hype that everybody set for the decades before you got there. She did all of this in the social media age, and especially the post-COVID social media age, where it's even more intensified now. And that's when she did and got her rise to fame. And no matter what you say, for her to be able to do what she did and still live up to the hype and accomplish as much as she did before she left UConn, hey, more props to her. Because you had to come behind the Tarasis, the Jennifer Rosati's, the Rebecca Lobos, the Aaliyah Bostons. Aaliyah Edwards, Breonna Stewart, Diana Taurasi. You had to come behind all of those ladies at UConn and do what she did. You know what I'm saying? Maya Moore is the greatest WNBA player ever. She the GOAT. Arguable. I'm not gonna say she's not. I would say you definitely got a good point there, my guy. I do. I love me some Maya Moore. I just feel like her career was more like a Gail Sayers or Terrell Davis, where she did a whole lot and accomplished a whole lot in a short amount of time. And because she stepped away from the game to take up social justice, I won't fault her for that. It's just that she didn't have that prolonged greatness as much as some other ones did. So you got an argument point there. But yeah, I just feel like all of that bullshit in the ladies' game, pitting them two ladies against each other like that, and it's really race baiting type of stuff on both sides, to be honest with you, especially from the fake Caitlin Clark fans, it just needs to stop. Let's just appreciate and watch the women's game for what it is and let those ladies ball out and let them play and let their play speak for what's going on instead of trying to, politicize or, use it as race baiting when you want to get your shit off. Candace Parker gets no love. Bro, I'm going to be honest with y'all. When it's all said and done, don't be surprised if Asia Wilson is that girl. Because right now, she's the best player on the planet. Like at this present point in time, ain't nobody better, bro. Like you can't name me a better female basketball player in the world right now than Asia Wilson. You can't. I'm sorry. It ain't happening. Like you can try all you want and you can name this, that, the third, and you can say, hey, but this person, that person, blah, 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 blah. Let me show y'all something real quick. This woman is literally leading her team in points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks. Okay? Every major statistical category, she's leading her team. And we're not just talking about leading the team. She's in pretty good standing in the league as far as those stats are concerned. So I'm just saying, like, that right there is the best player on the damn planet. And it don't get no better than that. All right. I think Candace Parker does get some love. But I just think that there are more accomplished players out there than her as well. That's the thing. JP's got to stop giving these haters the publicity they want. Bruh, like I always say, a fire can only breathe if it has oxygen. If you smother out a fire and you fail to give it oxygen, it won't burn. So again, I implore y'all, and I'm going to wrap it up with this was my rant. And this wasn't even my planned rant for this week. But when you see these idiots on social media and they are sharing stupid shit and they're saying stupid shit and doing stupid shit and tweeting stupid shit. And is one dumbass thing after the next, after the next, after the next, after the next. Like, I implore y'all, stop quote tweeting that shit. Stop retweeting it. Stop giving it fucking attention. Because all you doing is amplifying their signal. That's all you're doing is amplifying their signal. You're helping them get their stupidity and their ignorance out there. You're not calling it out. People can see it. Thank you, Sierra. Let us say, no, I don't want y'all to say stupid shit. I don't know if you're saying let y'all say stupid shit or if you trying to tell the class don't say, I don't know. But all I'm going to say is, me personally, I'm not going to give you that publicity. I will call you out, or I will say, I think this opinion that I saw is stupid, but I'm not going to retweet that shit. I'm damn sure not going to quote tweet it because I'm not about to sit up here and amplify your fucking signal because it's dumb. So when I see some dumb shit, my first thought is not, oh, I'm about to do this. I'm about to call these fools out. I'm about to show them. I'm going to quote tweet this and say how much I hate this. You're quoting. That means you're bringing it to your audience for other people to see. Why not just tell people, hey, I saw this stupid ass tweet. I'm not going to amplify it. Y'all can go look for it. Blah, blah, blah. No, y'all don't want to listen. What y'all want to do? Well, I'm going to quote it. I'm going to show them. Yeah, you showing them all right. Only thing you showing them is that your dumb ass falling for it. And they sitting back laughing because their tweet is getting blown the fuck up because especially y'all with a large following like to quote tweet shit and keep shit going. Now, if you want to quote tweet something, you can go to Sucio Sports, you can go to my account and find my rant from last week where I had to speak on how I felt about ACW, All Caribbean Wrestling, and JB Cool bitch ass, and how they like to do Maya World, Jada Stone, Pocket, aka Pocket Rocket, like Sloan like to call her, Luke Curtis, Zicky Dice, Danny Limelight, and Maserati, amongst others. You want to quote tweet something to amplify a signal? Go quote tweet that. Go amplify that signal. And actually use your platform for putting something out there that needs to be put out there, that needs to be talked about, that needs to be spoken about, that actually needs more attention on it than quote tweeting bullshit from people who are saying stupid shit and you trying to make yourself look good and feel good by amplifying their signal and saying how much you don't like it. How about instead of amplifying those signals, you amplify signals that need to be amplified, need to be talked about? Like the mistreatment of these wrestlers at this wrestling promotion, or the way some of these kids get taken advantage of and whatnot with some of these sports and stuff, or how some of these coaches are creeps and shit out here. Go quote tweet, amplify shit like that instead of quote tweeting and all this other dumb shit that y'all be doing. Because all that engagement farming bullshit and you looking for that little check from Elon and them every month that barely is enough to buy you a combo meal at Five Guys, like that, is that shit really worth it? No. What the fuck are you really doing besides getting some likes and quotes and retweets from your echo chamber? Is it giving you that much of a boost of endorphins and adrenaline to feel good that you're getting likes, quotes, and retweets because you're quoting and retweeting something that's so fucking stupid and you just want to let everybody know how you feel about something stupid? Because if that's the case, man, y'all got life fucked up. This has been episode 77 of Sucio Sports presented by Gel Blasters and Inplay Dogs. Inplay Dogs and Gel Blasters. Appreciate y'all rocking with us. We'll see y'all again next week. Peace.